given the points 1, 2, and 3, 4, we are going to find the midpoint of this segment. So I'm going to draw in the segment and I'm going to eyeball it. It looks to me like the midpoint of that segment is over 2 up 3. Okay, but we can actually calculate and see if we found the midpoint correctly just by taking the average of the x values. So take the average of 1 and 3 and for the x coordinate and the average of the y values for the y coordinate. Okay, so just a refresher, to find the average between a list of numbers, you add them up and divide by how many there are. So if we're averaging the x coordinates, we would take 3 plus 1, and since there's 2 of those, we divide by 2. And then to take the average of the y coordinates, we would take 2 plus 4. Since there's 2 of those, we divide by 2. Okay, so there's our big ordered pair, and we'll simplify these. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And for the y coordinates, we have 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And there we go. Just as we had anticipated, our midpoint is 2, 3. Okay. Now, we can use this procedure to find the midpoint between any 2 points, unless it's a vertical line, and we would have division by 0. And then, let's see. Well, we'll deal with that separately. All right, so let's just say we have our first point again as x1, y1. And our second point is x2, y2. And so to find the average of the x coordinates, we simply take the first x, add it to the second x. Since we have 2 coordinates, we're dividing that in half. And then for the y value of the midpoint, we take the first y plus the second y, divide that by 2, and that's the formula for the midpoint between any 2 points. Okay, and I misspoke. There's not a problem if you're doing this on a vertical segment. It will still work. For example, if you wanted to find the midpoint between the points 0, 4 and 0, 6, we'll just practice it here. And that's the point over 0, up 6. When you're naming an ordered pair, you always give the x value first, so the left and right things, and then you give the y coordinates second. Okay, so if we're going to find the midpoint, we need to average the x values. So that would be 0 plus 0 divided by 2, which is just 0. And for the y coordinates, we would take 6 plus 4 is 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So the midpoint between 0, 4 and 0, 6 is the point 0, 5. And I'll label this. This is the midpoint formula. Again, this is a formula that I recommend you putting on your note card for the exam.